In news from the USVI criminal courts, we learned that one man is facing criminal charges for assaulting the mother of his child, while another faces charges of driving under the influence. On Tuesday, a woman called the 911 emergency call center to request assistance with the father of her child, Maurice Liburd. Responding officers heard that the woman and Liburd had ended their relationship some months ago, but kept in contact in order to co-parent their daughter. The woman told police that on the evening of November 29th, she was in her bedroom when the door opened to reveal Liburd, who then came into the room and began grappling with her for her cell phone. The woman said she responded by hitting him, upon which he grabbed her by her hair and dragged her out of the bedroom, ripping out some of her weaved hair in the process and causing an immediate headache. Another resident of the home got between the two, preventing any further attacks. The woman said she ran into that person's bedroom and Liburd followed, throwing items at her before leaving the residence altogether. The woman told police that she had a restraining order against Liburd, but that her child's father was still making unwanted and threatening calls to her phone. Additionally, he reportedly somehow found out her new partner's contact details and was making threatening calls to his phone as well. She said that Liburd did not have permission to enter her residence and insisted that she remembered locking the front door. On December 1st, Liburd presented himself to police. He denied allegations that he entered the woman's home without permission and assaulted her, but admitted to calling and texting the victim and her male partner's cell phones. He was arrested and charged with burglary in the first degree, aggravated assault and battery, and forcible and unlawful entry, all as acts of domestic violence. Liburd was also charged with disturbance of the peace. In court on Friday, a judge ruled that Liburd be allowed to post 10% of his $15,000 bail requirement to secure his release. Once again, he was ordered to have no contact, directly or indirectly, with the victim or any witnesses. Liburd is to maintain a minimum distance of 1,000 feet away from the victim and must refrain from visiting her workplace or anywhere that she frequents. Liburd new charges come while he was on pre-trial release, awaiting prosecution for similar offenses allegedly committed in October. He is alleged to have entered the woman's residence without permission on October 16th and was charged in that instance with burglary in the second degree and forcible and unlawful entry, both as acts of domestic violence. Liburd was also charged with disturbance of the peace by threats. Bail in that pending matter was conditional on him not having any contact with the complainant and not entering her premises. In other court matters, St. Croix resident Julian St. Rose was arrested on November 30th following a collision on Grove Place Road. Police responded to a report of a three-vehicle collision on Wednesday, where they met with two of the drivers involved in the accident. The third driver had been taken to the 1F Louis Hospital for medical treatment. One of the drivers, Julian St. Rose, was standing next to his gold Toyota Tacoma pickup truck. By police request, St. Rose handed over his keys to the vehicle, and while speaking with him, an officer noted the strong odor of alcohol coming from St. Rose's breath and person. His eyes were glassy, the officer noted, his speech slurred, and St. Rose was reportedly bracing himself against the truck to prevent himself from falling over. He told officers when asked that he'd had 2 beers while at his ex-wife's house. He was not able to successfully complete any of the 3 standardized field sobriety tests that were administered and thus placed under arrest. Investigations later found that St. Rose was heading south on Grove Place, Route 705 near the market, when his truck veered into the northbound lane and collided with 2 vehicles, a white Ford Explorer and a Nissan Sentra, both of which sustained disabling damage. The driver of the Explorer told police that he was northbound when he saw St. Rose's vehicle heading towards his, so he pulled to the left as much as he could, but was unable to avoid the Tacoma. The driver of the Sentra, who was later interviewed at the hospital, said she saw St. Rose hit the Explorer in front of her and then he hit her car. She said St. Rose then exited his vehicle and approached her vehicle aggressively, yelling and cursing. St. Rose was charged with driving under the influence of an intoxicating liquor and negligent driving. In court on Friday, a judge ruled that St. Rose could post his driver's license in lieu of bail. He must report to the probation office every Tuesday and have no contact with any of the witnesses. He is also prohibited from consuming alcohol or any controlled substance while the matter is pending.